another reaction video. We got what NBA legends and players think of Larry Bird. Let's get straight into the video. We ain't gonna waste no time. I got my air fryer flowing, so hopefully I don't hear it, but I'm gonna mute my mic. But let's get into it. Let's get it.
He was gonna take a swing.
I said, you're crazy. I'm not shooting no commercial with Larry.
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late, great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird.
Magic Johnson once said, "Larry Bird is so good it's frightening." And today, we're peeling back the layers of that fear to uncover why NBA legends confess that Larry Bird was nothing short of a basketball god. But there is more to Larry than scaring the living daylights out of Magic Johnson. The hick from French Lick wasn't just a master on the court, he was a psychological chess player. He played mind games with his opponents.
I saw Larry Bird one night in Phoenix. They were losing big time at the half. And they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter, and they came back and won the game. He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about to that degree? Nobody. Michael could never do that. Never. Michael had to have the ball.
Now, I know you've heard the GOAT debates, Jordan, LeBron, and the list goes on. But what if I told you that there's a Hall of Famer who thinks Larry Bird might be the best to ever do it? Larry the Legend, the man with the mullet, the king of trash talk, the architect of unforgettable moments, might just be the true GOAT. We'll get to that. Early days. Born on December 7th, 1956 in West Baden, Indiana, and raised in the basketball crucible of French Lick, Larry Bird's roots were as humble as they come. His high school stats read like video game stats: 31 points, 21 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. And no wonder he earned a scholarship to Indiana University. But life on a sprawling campus of 33,000 proved too overwhelming for the small-town kid. After less than a month, Bird found himself on a U-turn back to French Lick. Larry, at 17, was just a homesick kid navigating a sea of confusion. He later confessed, "The school was just too big. I was a homesick kid who was lost and broke." Bird decided to take a break from basketball and work for the municipality. He cut grass, painted benches, striped streets, and even drove a garbage truck. A far cry from the glitz of college hoops, but he wasn't done dreaming. He enrolled at a local junior college, briefly, before committing to Indiana State in 1975. His message to his garbage truck crew? "I'll be back, and I'll be the boss." But life threw him a curveball. In that same year, his father took his own life. It was a gut-wrenching blow that would have shattered most, but Bird found solace on the court. After taking a season off as a transfer, he scored more than 30 points per game in his first 2 years at Indiana State. As a junior, he earned All-American honors. Now, despite being a college sensation, Larry wasn't a shoo-in for the top NBA picks in 1978. Not first, not second, not even third. It took until the 6th pick for the Boston Celtics to roll the dice on Bird, hoping he'd sprinkle some of his Midas touch on the struggling franchise. Bird, armed with a 5-year, $3.25 million contract, entered Boston with skeptics questioning if he was worth the investment. Spoiler alert, he was. "No matter how good I am, I'm still just a hick from French Lick," he humbly declared. But those doubted him were swiftly silenced. In his rookie season, Bird orchestrated a Celtics revival. He took a lackluster 29-53 Boston Celtics squad and turned them into a 61-21 powerhouse. That's not a rookie season. That's a rookie resurrection. Oh, and did I mention he did this while battling what some in the NBA called white man's disease? A supposed inability to jump high. Now, we all know Larry was a breed of player unlike any other, standing tall at 6'9", with passing skills and court vision that left fans in awe. And let's not forget, he was one of the pioneers of the three-point shot, making it rain long before it became the norm. But here's the twist. There's another player, Oscar Schmidt, who mirrored Bird's game, albeit on the international stage. Schmidt is hailed as one of the greatest international players of all time. He is the Olympic scoring leader with over 1,000 total points, and that's no small feat. Let's rewind to 1992 in Barcelona, the stage for one of the most iconic matchups. Schmidt, representing Brazil, faced off against Larry Legend and the legendary US Dream Team. It was a clash of the titans. But fast forward to 2013, and Larry Bird had the honor of welcoming Oscar Schmidt into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And even before uttering a word about his storied career, Schmidt drops a bombshell of admiration for Larry Legend. He declared, "It's too easy to have Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant as an idol. The guy flies around and does whatever he wants. It's too easy. My guy doesn't run, doesn't jump, and plays the best out of everybody else. He is here." As the crowd erupts in applause, Schmidt points directly at Bird, emphasizing, "This is my idol, the best player ever, in my opinion." NBA revitalization. Before Bird and Magic, the NBA was like that underappreciated band playing in the corner of a dive bar. But the Larry Magic duo cranked up the volume, turned up the lights, and suddenly, the NBA wasn't on the sidelines. It was the headline act. Bird's role in the revitalization should be etched in basketball history. 3 consecutive MVP seasons, unheard of for a forward, Finals MVP twice, first team All-League for 9 straight seasons. Larry Bird wasn't just a baller, he was a basketball messiah. The dude had this magical touch that transformed teammates into champions. His court vision was ridiculous, and his shooting? Ice in his veins. And defense? Oh, don't even get me started. Iguodala, in a rare open admission, declared Bird as the best white basketball player ever. He declared, "Larry didn't have no flaws, and I'm going to go out there on a limb, and this is the first time I've ever said this in an open setting. I'll take Larry Bird over Magic Johnson. He can play in any era." Iguodala believes Bird's game transcends time and borders. NBA, FIBA, ABA, EuroLeague, you name it. He even revealed a side of Bird that makes him even more extraordinary. He said, "The man would tell you where he was going. I'm going here and then I'm stopping right there. That little logo right there. I'm stopping right there and I'm going to pull up." And he would do exactly that. When we talk about Larry Bird, we're talking about a player who terrorized opponents throughout the 80s. The man could dribble and pass like a point guard. But here's a gem from the Larry Bird archives that adds a touch of humor to his greatness. At the height of his dominance, when the media labeled him the Great White Hope, Bird found it disrespectful to be guarded by a fellow white player. Charles Barkley spilled the beans on the Dan Patrick Show, recounting a conversation with Bird.
One second, y'all. Let me just check my food real quick.
Bird mid-game. According to Sir Charles, Bird said, "Y'all got a white guy trying to guard me. That's disrespectful. There's not a white guy on the planet that can guard me." Classic Larry. Competition level. From Isaiah Thomas's Pistons to Julius Erving's 76ers in the East to Magic's Lakers and Hakeem Olajuwon's Rockets in the finals, Bird battled and conquered the best of the best. It wasn't just about the Celtics as a team. Larry Bird's prowess stood out even among basketball titans.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, the best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the Defensive Player of the Year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We
88.
beat them 4-1. I'm going to say that again. 4-1. They won one
May I
game.
respond?
Stephen A. And he never beat Larry Bird. He never beat Magic and Kareem. He never won. And all I'm saying is in the 80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Bird, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
Now, let's get one thing straight. Larry Bird's career isn't a stat sheet symphony. He He wasn't topping the league in scoring or rebounding, nor was he etching his name into the record books for assists. Yet, whenever the Celtics needed a dose of greatness, Bird delivered like clockwork. But here's the real kicker. Red Auerbach, the sage of Celtics wisdom, knew this all along. Auerbach highlighted Bird's greatness before the GOAT talk began. Bird's greatness went beyond stats, Auerbach emphasized. When Bird had his third consecutive MVP year, Auerbach emphasized to Sports Illustrated, to truly comprehend Bird, do not focus only on his numbers. His presence, his total control on the court truly count. Even on nights when Bird didn't emerge as the stat leader early in the game, he operated on a different plane strategically and mentally. Auerbach, in a recent reflection, stated, "After extensive soul searching, I believe he is one of the greatest players to ever wear an NBA uniform." It wasn't about the numbers, it was about Bird's chess-like mastery of the game. Fast forward to today, and the challenge lies in persuading others of Bird's unique greatness. In an era enamored with stats, Bird's impact might be a tougher sell. People are fascinated by numbers, but Bird's greatness goes beyond that. Post-1986 era. Now, the tale takes a turn after the 1986 season. Bird faced a formidable adversary, a relentless back injury that lingered until the twilight of his career in 1992. Bird's resilience was tested in a battle, casting shadows on his performance. However, glimpses of his prime still flickered. Amidst adversity, Bird showcased flashes of brilliance that defined his greatness. Take, for instance, the classic shootout against Dominic Wilkins in the epic Game 7 of the 1988 Eastern Conference Finals. Despite his injury, Bird summoned his prime and delivered a remarkable performance that basketball enthusiasts still marvel at. Fast forward to 1991, a moment etched in Boston Celtics lore. Bird, battling not just opponents but the physical toll of a head injury, took center stage in the fifth and deciding game of the series. Despite his injury, he orchestrated a takeover, proving Larry Legend's greatness. Now, the question lingers, what could Bird have achieved if his back had held up? It's a query destined to remain unanswered, lost to the realms of hypotheticals. But for a remarkable 7-year span, from 1980 to 1986, Larry Bird reigned supreme. His impact transcended mere statistics. So, was Larry Bird the basketball god? Well, that's subjective, but one thing is undeniable. He should never be far from the conversation. Whether it's his on-court finesse, his quirky remarks, or the battles against the NBA's elite.
Brown beat John Paxson off the pick. The second overtime, and that will do it. Celtics in double overtime and defeated the Chicago Bulls 135 to 132 in a wild one.
Oh, and speaking of Larry Bird's greatness, make sure to click right over here to check out this video where we break down why Michael Jordan rates Larry Bird over LeBron James.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "It's a new sheriff in town." And we both hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
No, there's a thing.
Yep, that wraps it up for this good old video, man. Appreciate y'all so much. But yeah, he's definitely that legend. He is definitely that GOAT. And like I always say, I understand why people don't want to give him his credit. But hey, we know what's up. That's all I care about. I know what's up with him, so. But anyway, man, subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button, turn on that bell. Gonna be bringing y'all some more videos. I'm out of here. Love y'all so much. Let me know what y'all think of this video in the comments. But yeah, like I said, it's just crazy, you know. People don't give him his credit, man. They need to give him credit. Please give credit when credit is due. You know, some people don't want to, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. I'm on to the next video. Love y'all so much. I'm out of here. Peace.